I love the part in the sequel where Elle and Noah agree to keep a low profile in regards to their relationship, on social media. And I'm wondering for each of you, as actors, what are your thoughts on the idea that people think that they know you just based on solely your social media profiles? And how do you limit certain parts of your life on your social media profiles? Joey, I'll start with you.
First of all, love your wall so much. Amazing. For me, that's a really good question. It is interesting when you are so close with your fans and you want to give them every piece of you while also, protecting yourself a little bit and remaining a little bit private. Yeah, it's tough. I went through that very publicly. First when the first movie came out. Went through a lot of things and it became everybody's business. And I was like, oh man, this is insane. Maybe I should like dial it back a little bit. And since then I've kind of found a better balance between what I keep private, what it means, like what's appropriate for me to keep to myself. I found a better balance instead of just letting it just like overrule my life in a way of just like, I was stressed about it. Now I'm not really so stressed about it anymore.
I'm naturally a very like private person. I don't really feel the need to like put my life on blast. I do enjoy like sharing parts of that with fans and social media. And it's special when I do. So it's not all the time. It's not like every single post is me and my fiance on social media, and I'm constantly like updating people what we're doing. But when I do, I don't know. It just feels like it makes it more a little special to me.
Yeah, you and your fiance are so cute. She's gorgeous, by the way.
I agree with you. I would agree.
Yeah.
She's so beautiful.
She is. I was like, damn. I was like, looking at her profile yesterday.
I am marrying up.
Oh, well, both of you started acting, early on in life, and my husband and I are, huge fans of Super 8, the Dark Knight trilogy. So I mean, we literally just watched, both the Dark Knight Rises and Super 8, literally just last week. And I'm wondering, for each of you working with these directors like J.J. Abrams, like Christopher Nolan, what's something from them that you took and applied for you as an actor, maybe something that you used for the rest of your films? Joel, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so Super 8 was actually my first job. And I can't really lock down one thing that J.J. Abrams taught me. It was a plethora of information and knowledge and wisdom and like how to, I don't know. He taught me how to like function. I learned how to like behave. Like that was my first job of all time. I learned how to be respectful, how to work hard, how to like treat a business work area. And he set an amazing standard and was very forgiving. There was 14, 15-year-old boys running around on set. That is a recipe for disaster.
And Elle Fanning.
Yeah. Like, Elle is like a saint for like putting up with us. There were times where she was over it. There's too much that JJ taught me to like lock down one specific.
Joey, for you, is there something that you like learned from Chris Nolan, like in regards to working with him on Dark Knight Rises?
Geez, I just love them. I've had the opportunity to work with so many directors that I admire. Oh, yeah. But working with him, I mean, I'm just like a huge Batman fan, such a big Batman fan. And just like everything that he does is quite incredible. He is one of the most respectful and like kind people, I think that shocked me the most. I think to his crew, he's just like, he asks for things very politely. He's super polite. He's very calm. And I think that's like his secret sauce is that like, you can yell, you can scream, or you can just be stressed out in a ball of frenzy the whole time. But when you are commanding such a gigantic movie, it is your demeanor that sets the tone for the entire crew and the entire cast. And if you carry yourself with ease and grace and calmness, people will follow through and people will probably listen to you a lot better. And so he taught me the essence of calm in a stressful environment, and I really admire him.
Yeah, well, congratulations on the sequel. I know this film ends on a cliffhanger, and I'm interested to know both of your thoughts on getting back to work and back to filmmaking, post coronavirus. But we'll have to do that discussion at a different time. So I appreciate you guys so much today, and I can't wait for the fans to see this movie on Friday. Thank you both so much.
Thank you. By the way, you're so pretty. I just wanted to tell you, you're so beautiful.
Oh my God, Joey, you're amazing. I love you in the act so much. You and Patty are like so amazing together in that show. And I love your blazer. So I appreciate you both so much and cannot wait for the fans to see the sequel on Friday. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Well, congrats on the movie, Jacob. I'm a huge fan. I love Kissing Booth. I love Euphoria. I particularly love the part in this sequel where Elle and Noah's characters, you guys agree to go on a low profile on social media. And I find that really relatable in a lot of relationships. And I just kind of want to get your thoughts on like the idea that people come up to you and they feel like they know you just based solely on social media, and how do you kind of go about using social media and limiting like personal parts, of your life with social media?
Sure. I think your life, for me personally, your life is your life, and it's incredibly short. So to share it so publicly is terrifying. It feels like you're giving it away and losing kind of any genuine aspect that it may have. So I feel I used to feel a lot of pressure when I first sort of stumbled on to the internet, but now I kind of just for me it's a workplace, and I don't even have access to it. You know what I mean? Like it's just completely separate from my life. Otherwise, it's a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's totally smart. I don't know if you've seen the blooper reel at the end of the movie, but there's a part where you're in the airport scene, and again with Maisie, and you're on your phone, and you're like, "Who's playing music?" Someone's like, "Who's playing music?" And you're like, "Oh, that's me." I'm like trying to get into my emotions. So I'm curious what type of music you've been listening to, kind of while we've been at home, while we've been staying inside and social distancing, and what shows and movies you've been watching during this time.
Sure. In that scene, that was like the stock iPhone like emotional music. So it was like dun 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 dun. I've been listening to mostly I've been listening to Bon Iver since I've been home, because it's been a kind of super relaxing sort of self-reflection kind of time. So that's pretty much all I've been playing nonstop. And movies is everything. Just I couldn't even tell you I've watched that many. It's all kinds of stuff. I finished Avatar, The Last Airbender, for like the 6th time. That's been the most relevant, I think.
Somebody brought that movie to my attention the other day, and I totally
the show, not the movie.
Oh, okay, the show. Okay, I was gonna say, because I was like, what other shows and stuff have you been binging?
Right. I know this much is true. The Derek Cianfrance, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, show with Mark Ruffalo is outstanding.
On HBO, yeah, Mark Ruffalo is an amazing actor. So obviously in the sequel it ends on a major cliffhanger, and everybody's characters in Euphoria are on a major cliffhanger as well. And I'm curious for you as an actor, after getting back into work and getting back into filming after the state of which we are in right now, what are your thoughts about that? Are you excited to get back to work, or is there going to be kind of like a different approach in regards to getting back into work after all this?
I'm terribly excited. I think that'll more apply to the production side than myself. I'm going to try to keep it as regular as possible. With making movies, I'll take it pretty easy and just hopefully I can still do what I would usually do, but it's going to be like a new experience,
Yeah. So have you guys started, when was the plan to kind of start filming season 2 on Euphoria?
We were meant to start as soon as earlier this year, and then literally the day we were supposed to start, I came back to Australia, and it's sort of remained the same since.
And then, so in regards to, I guess, a potential maybe third film, without getting into too many spoilers here, what have you kind of heard in regards to that in the third Kissing Booth film, since we were kind of left on a cliffhanger?
Nothing. Hey, absolutely nothing. The struggle was making the second one. It was because it took so long for us to get into it and get over there, and the process was so long that's where the focus has been.
Yeah. Okay. And last question for you. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Euphoria. I've seen season 1 twice. Was one of my favorite shows that have come out last year. And it's funny because that is like the show that I've most talked about with people in regards to, so many people like watched it and all of their different like thoughts in regards to that show. When you're approaching a show like that, where you're playing a character like Nate, who has hours and hours of a character arc, versus in a movie like this, where you only kind of get to explore, you know, maybe like 2 hours of, you know, Noah's character arc, do you approach that differently anyway, since you kind of have more time in a TV show in regards to filming?
Obviously, with the show, you have more time to naturally fall into it and find the shoes. But I would say I try to put the same amount of effort into everything that I do, with dependent on the time limit that I'm going to be given. You know what I mean? So I don't think I could work properly if I didn't apply the same kind of energy in whatever format I can get. You know, but obviously, like you said, with the time that you have on a TV show, you get to really settle into it, you know.
How are you guys? Congrats to you both on this movie. I enjoyed it so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Happy. I can't wait for it to come out.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. I'm excited
almost.
I'm excited for the fans to see it. So I have a bunch of questions for you guys, so I'm going to get right into it. I love the part in the movie where Elle and Noah agree to have a low profile in regards to their relationship on social media. And social media is obviously so important, you know, for everyone, especially with the state of the world that we're in. And both of you have big followings, you know, because you're actors. So I'm curious for each of you, what are your thoughts on the idea that someone feels like they know someone based solely on their social media, and how do you go about certain parts of, you know, limiting certain parts of your life to social media? Maisie, I'll start with you first.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird, you know, a new thing that we're all kind of still trying to get our heads around, I think, especially our generation, because we know the world before that. Whereas the kids nowadays, they were born into this. So I think they have much more of like an instinctive flow with it. But I still struggle.
I'm so glad I didn't have it in high school.
Thank gosh. But, you know, there's definitely boundaries. Knowing where your boundaries are and making sure that you always respect them, because whatever you show kind of gives people a right to ask about is a strange thing. So like, I'm really careful with what I show with my relationship and with my friendships, because you know, I don't want to therefore be talking about those things later, but equally, I think it's an amazing opportunity to use that platform to, you know, instill pride and celebrate things about yourself that other people can relate to, and therefore feel pride about their own things that they sort of identify with about you. So I think finding that balance and using the voice that you have and the platform you have in order to do whatever you can to bolster people and whatever movements are going on that you want to affiliate yourself with.
I love that answer so much. Taylor, what about you? Has someone come up to you thinking they've known something, they feel like they fully know you just based on your social media, or how do you feel about using your social media platforms?
You know, I think Maisie hit the nail on the head when it comes to just using your platform for good. And, you know, that's my biggest goal with it. But as of now, I mean, I haven't really had a large social following. You know, as I kind of trailer launched and then everything kind of doubled, and, you know, people have been, you know, engaging more with me. But I'm not one of those people that really share everything, because I definitely love having a private part of my life. I love having a private part of my friends, because, you know, if you give away everything on the internet, what do you have to go home to? You know, if everyone knows what your living room and your bedroom and your, I don't know, your kitchen look like, it's like kind of not yours anymore. Yeah. And, you know, I get it if, you know, you have a reality show and like that's your thing, but I don't know, for me, I just, I'm a bit more private and a bit more like, smaller grouped. But I'm really excited to, like, you know, use my voice and, you know, voice my opinions and, you know, just help those that don't have a platform like we do, especially with this kind of movie that's very youth centric. Yeah. You know, we have the opportunity and ability to, you know, set good examples for these kids that are big fans of our show, to show them that, you know, stardom really isn't everything. It's what you do with it, how you advocate, how you show love for people. You know, that's very important.
Well, I can't wait to see what your following is like after this Friday, because Netflix, I feel like, is known for like blowing up people. I mean, like, I enjoyed you so much in this film. I especially love the dance scenes, and I'm curious, I'm sure it was impossible to get things perfect on the first take. And there's so many different sequences that both you and Joey do. So was there something that maybe like a little mistake happened during filming that might have been kept in there because it ended up working? Can you talk a little bit about that?
I can talk, yes, vaguely about it. I can't be too specific because maybe something made it in there, like you said.
Yeah.
But there's one moment where Joey actually falls off during a rehearsal, and that makes it into somewhere in the film. And it was like an honest mistake, and everything was fine, and she was okay. But it was pretty funny, after you find out that they're okay, and then you see it on camera, you're just like, oh my God, that was so funny. Are you okay? Oh my God. And I think that was probably the best. For me, I don't think any of my bloopers were in there. Like, I mean, I fell plenty of times. I've fallen like off of a stage I rehearsed on, like I've fallen, off of like the handlebars, jumping over them or something. So I think Vince does a really good job at making me look good.